So here we are again at River Islands, Bob Campana, and the last part of the project to get to this point, a milestone, not the last part, it's just the beginning actually when we get right down to it. But what we're doing is we're inserting mortar inside the wall, and that wall is being built up so it's solid concrete. After that, we're gonna put the waterproofing on the wall, and this dirt behind us here will be pushed back in. The dirt and the walls will be leveled. You can see over here to my right-hand side where the buildings from the Redwood Café, a few of them are staged here. The other one's over by Deloso Farms. It's starting to take shape. It's starting to move forward at a more rapid rate. Some of the posts that you've been seeing that we're building tables, chairs, artwork over at the shop, that's at a fever pitch right now, and it's going to be going on for the next year. So let's take a walk down and talk to the guys and see how they're doing on putting that concrete in that wall. Takes a lot of people to build a building like this. The organization is amazing. Hale Construction, these guys are absolutely on the mark, on top of it, and I'm so honored that they're putting it together. Going to be going over to the office and meeting with Susan in a little bit, talking to her about the next steps that are going on as well. It's the pedal to the metal right now. The only thing we're concerned about is when are we going to be able to move in and cook some steak. This is going to be a cave entrance from the main street of the downtown at River Islands here into the bottom story of the restaurant. And you can see behind me here this large expanse. That's going to be the downstairs of the restaurant. We're going to have like multiple wine cellars down there, storage, another kitchen. So let's walk out and take a look at the guys right now. You can see how clean the job site is. They're doing a really great job here. And what we're going to be looking at is putting the mortar in, and they've got a concrete pump there, and they're pumping the mortar up into the wall. How we doing, boys?
Yes, sir.
How's this project looking?
Good.
Are you happy with it?
Yeah, so far.
That's awesome. Now, what are you doing for us here, Sean?
Well, for us, I'm going to be sampling the grout. We're going to be taking prisms.
You're going to do a slump test on it, or are you going to do a hardness?
No, we don't do the slump.
So when I was in the pool business, I had one of these. This is a Schwing concrete pump. They're made in Germany. Absolutely precision pieces of equipment. They're going to be pumping this concrete in here. So Schwing is famous for their rocker valve. They have a rocker valve that goes back and forth on the bottom of the, and it's got these pumps that go back and forth to pump the concrete into it. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Well, I got a little bit of spray on me. He told us to leave. We weren't listening to him. Hey, isn't this a little early for you?
Yeah.
You know, are you all right? Okay. You miss me?
No.
All right. So, as you can see, all the construction guys know me. They're all excited about the project. They're all excited about having this work going on. Hey, where's my Hale Yeah shirt? Why didn't I have a Hale Yeah shirt?
They're on back order right now.
Yeah. I can see why you're in charge. You could come up with on the spot. On the spot. So what we have here is pre-bent rebar. I believe those are number 5s. And what they do is they pre-bend it, and as the concrete is installed, you'll see over here, they're putting them in and coming out, putting them in and coming out. It's called a wet set, where they actually put the rebar in the concrete while it's wet. They're for reinforcement for the roof of this and the floor on the second story. So that'll tie in. What we're gonna have is what's called a Robinson sheeting or a unigrid floor. They're gonna make a floor, and then they're gonna pour the concrete on the top, and that'll be the ceiling, and it'll also be the floor for the upstairs. So that is just like a mortar, like a 5-sack mortar.
What?
What's going in the walls now?
No, this is 7.5 sack, 3,000.
7.5 sack?
7.5 sack, 3,000 PSI, due to the fact that there's 2 inches of
Is there pea gravel in it?
Standard. Oh yeah, most definitely. This mix design was designed specifically for the high school, and we're using it here on the top of this lift right here. We want it built so that it'll withstand,
that's really strong.
It'll withstand anything that's thrown at it.
Yeah. What's going to go on with the waterproofing here now? What's the next step?
The next step would be they're going to finish the top, and they're going to have to do a membrane or barrier on the exterior, and then also tie in the drains to the bottom and slope it out, and then backfill.
So as you can see behind me here, the guys have figured out the big old long snake. They've got it up on top of the building there. Well, that's the concrete pump hose that's bringing it around. They were, at the beginning, they were holding it up. Somebody figured out, hey, let's run it on top of the scaffold, and then we don't have to hold it up anymore. So some things like that kind of get discovered. And over here you can see as they're walking their way through, as the mortar goes in there, they come in and wet set those rebars. There's rebars inside the wall. They put the rebar in, that'll solidify and set. And then just talking over there, then the next step will come along in the next phase of construction, which is going to be to put a ceiling form on the top, and they're going to pour an entire concrete lid on top of that, which will capture the space underneath for the wine cellars and be the floor for the second story of the building. So now you'll see over here this guy, he's got a little thing on his DeWalt battery operated drill. That's a vibrator. And what that basically does is it jiggles the concrete to get the air pockets out of it. And if there's any like air pockets loose in there, it'll bring the air to the surface and make sure that concrete's solid inside those walls. So he goes through with that vibrator and it vibrates it and brings it down. I've actually never seen one that was hooked on a drill before, but that's pretty cool. As you can see behind me, the buildings are there. Those are the old buildings, which was a house, a ranch house that was built in the 1950s in Modesto, California. About 25 years ago, the Knights of Columbus decided they wanted to sell the building. They put it up for sale. Myself and my ex-partner bought the building and made a banquet facility out of it where we just did weddings for around 10 years. And my daughters talked me into making a restaurant. That's when I remodeled the inside of that house and made it the Redwood Café. At the beginning, the Redwood Café was a little slower, but as time went on, it became the busiest restaurant in Modesto and actually in Northern California. It was voted the 18th most romantic restaurant out of 66,000 restaurants on a Yelp review. So the interior of that restaurant was very difficult or could not be replicated. Let's just put it that way, because it was eclectic. I built it over time. So we decided to keep the spirit of Redwood Café and to transfer it. We were going to move the buildings over and incorporate them into the new building. So Susan Deloso made an offer to me to bring the restaurant over, become a manager of the restaurant and part owner with them and partners, and that's what we're doing. So this is one hell of a project. It's a fairy tale as far as restaurants are concerned. So as this journey goes along, there's going to be a lot of information that you're going to be able to find. You might not even see this video till you're having dinner in this restaurant, but you're going to come back and look how we made this place in the beginning, and you're going to be excited to see what went into it. So thanks so much for joining us today and watching the Redwood Café being constructed in Lathrop, California. I can't wait to share with you all the steps along the way, including the shop over by my home, where we're constructing all interior artwork, tables, and all kinds of different structures for the inside of the building. Stay tuned, watch it on a regular basis. Oh, and by the way, you may want to pick up my book, Don't Look Down. It's a fantastic story of my life, how I got to this point here today. Thanks so much.